So my wife is a public speaker, and so sometimes she gets invited to these gigs, but it needs to be digital. And I've done this entire lighting setup and connected it to the ATEM Mini Pro, and now everything's set up, and I thought, well, while it's set up, why not tell you about a little story that happened some years ago. So I was part of a workshop with a very senior director, and she told us how does she pitch a new movie to investors. And she literally goes to the investor and moves closer and says, I have a story to tell you. The investors immediately start moving forward, wanting to listen to her story. The focus is story, and she always keeps that decision, the creative decision of camera choice, lighting choice, to the camera department. But in her mind, story comes first. So this is how we at SA Filmworks are retelling the stories of our local people and getting epic stock footage while doing so. Roll the title. Now, Grammy-winning producer Brian Hickox once said that a filmmaker's sole responsibility is to hold up a mirror to a nation and tell their story. Now, in this mirror, you can show people whether they are good, bad, or even predict their future. Now, we decided to focus on inspirational stories. In 2020, our cameras weren't exactly working as hard as they could have. We decided to change our company ethos, and that is to tell inspiring stories that move people. So we picked up our cameras and started looking for these stories. We created a channel online, on YouTube, on Facebook. Now this included anything from NGOs, people's personal stories, and even businesses that are busy with innovative and exciting new things. But the interesting result was we also had incredible stock footage that we couldn't have gotten any other way. We are filming anything from cheetahs right through to miniature trains, the whole spectrum. Now, out of the get-go, we decided to do these stories pro bono, which meant that we had full creative control over how we told these stories. All of a sudden, this opened new possibilities for creativity, where we could add GoPros to anything. We could film the way we want to. Maximum creativity. We tested new ideas, new things, new workflows that we could offer to paying clients. This often resulted in stunning footage that we had of businesses that resulted in them coming back to us to offer paid social media content and more. The website that we use to upload footage is called blackbox.com, and they offer model release forms. Now, when I say model, it's not necessarily a specific type of person. It is any human being that appears in your footage. Now, if you want to avoid this, you can shoot from behind, close-ups of hands, but when they are recognizable in your footage, you need to have a model release form. So always have these printed out and inside your bag to be ready when you see a moment for some stock footage. Of course, stock footage is not only with people in. It could be drone shots of mountain ranges. It can be giraffes, zebras, just landscape. And that type of footage gets purchased all over the world. Once we edited the video, we release it on our YouTube and Facebook channel, and we also send it to the person that we filmed. The amazing thing about feedback on that is it's the first time that a third party tells that person's story. And it's almost like there's a change within themselves, a pride, a new, fresh way that they see themselves as well. Now, we are a Cape Town, South African-based company. And in South Africa, we're often confronted with bad news. But it's not all bad. There's so many wonderful and inspiring stories. And that's how we position ourselves. In 2016, I was very fortunate to be chosen as one of the entrepreneurs to be trained at the University of Stellenbosch. Now, one of the interesting classes that we had really struck me, and that was if you invest in your community will invest in you. At first, I didn't really understand this, as this is quite a hairy, vague thing to do. But we just had to start with telling one person's story, then the next, then the next, A community started to develop. New clients were made, new relationships were built, and it was just because of the power of video. So the lesson that I wish you could take away is not just to focus on your next cinematic shot. It really is to pick up your camera and start honing your skill to tell stories. It literally changes lives. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'd love to take you on this journey to grow your business.